Nobody likes getting bumped off their flight. You go to the airport, you wait, and then they're oversold. Well, there are two ways to get bumped, and there are two different things you can do about it when it happens. The first is when it's involuntary. And when that happens, don't just take what the airline gives you, like a modest voucher or a meal coupon. I mean, you can go at it. You can ask them for stuff. The worst thing is they say no. You don't ask, you don't get. I always ask for stuff because I'm helping them out. I know I'm getting bumped, but you know what? I want to get the best out of it as I can. And often they'll give it to you. Now, if you're voluntarily bumped, which is when they say, we're looking for volunteers, and they offer maybe like a $200 travel voucher, and then nobody says anything, and then it goes up to $500, then $750. You know what? You can negotiate with them. I mean, if they offer you $750, say you want $1,000, say you want $1,500. When you're involuntarily bumped, in addition to negotiating for the best you can also get something under the Department of Transportation's Traveler's Bill of Rights. Look it up online. And what you can get under the Bill of Rights is potentially up to 400% the cost of your one-way airfare. That's a lot of money. Don't leave that on the table. Go after it. And if they won't give it to you at the gate, write a letter. Go to corporate. Push it. I do that all the time. I always write a thoughtful letter, and I don't just send it to customer service through an email portal, because that often goes unaddressed, in my experience at least. I send a certified letter, return receipt requested, to the CEO or president, the chief legal counsel, and then also customer service. And that's what gets a response. Now, let me give you an example. This isn't a bumping situation, it's a theft situation, but it proves my point. And this is happening in real time. My daughter, when she was visiting my family in Minneapolis just a few weeks ago, she flies back to New York. She leaves her purse on the plane. She realizes this after she's passed through security, so she can't go back. But she sees on her phone, the AirTag shows that the purse is on the plane because she has the AirTag in her wallet. Well, she's waiting and going to baggage services, and finally the AirTag makes its way to baggage services. So it's right there. So she says to the woman, hey, can I go grab my purse, or can you grab my purse, whatever? And she gets the runaround, and she's told, you know what, I can't do it, we can't do it, come back in the morning. She's like, why should I come back in the morning? I'm like, right here, and it's right there. They wouldn't give it to her. So she goes home, comes back in the morning, she sees that it's still right there, and she says, can I have my purse back? And they give her the runaround again. She doesn't get it. And now after a little bit longer, the AirTag goes dark and the Visa charges start. So somebody stole the purse out of baggage services, who had to be an airline employee because only they can get back there. Not okay. Now, in my experience, maybe 9.5 out of 10 people would have said, you know what, I left my bag, my fault, I'm screwed, I'm just going to let it go. I have to buy a new purse, I've got to buy a new wallet, whatever. And it was a new purse, by the way, and it was a new wallet that we got her when we were in Europe a few months ago, and my wife had given her $100 cash, by the way, on her way out. So there's like a lot of stuff she lost. So most people would figure, it's my fault, I've got to eat it. But you know what? While it was her fault for sure, the airline intervened. It's called a superseding intervening cause in the law, when something takes the place of your negligence and takes over the negligence. And then the problem becomes their fault rather than yours. This was easily avoidable because the airline had the bag and could have given it back to her. They didn't. So what did I do? Like I said a second ago, I wrote a 5-page single-spaced letter supported by 18 exhibits. I'm talking screenshots, confirmation numbers, boarding passes, receipts, all this stuff. I sent it, certified mail, return receipt requested, to the CEO of the airline, the chief legal counsel, and customer service. And I said, listen, if we don't get a result from you, as in our money back for all the stuff that your folks stole, which is about $1,600 and change, we're going to file suit in small claims court in Jamaica, New York. And that would mean they've got to come out and get a lawyer, and he or she's got to review the file. And by the time they get out to crappy small claims court in the middle of nowhere, they're already into it for like $7,000 or whatever, which outstrips the cost of this claim, which is why it's a business decision. They're likely going to want to resolve it short of going to court, which I'm perfectly happy to do. So what happened literally yesterday, I get a call from someone in customer care. They apologize. They said they've got to do a little investigating on their end to see what happened, to which I said, you know, you're entitled to find out what happened, as in who took it. But you know what? At the end of the day, at the end of the investigation, her purse is still gone. She still deserves her stuff back. And he said, yes, you're right. We will make it right and send her a check. We just need to check, you know, all of our boxes. I said, thank you very much. And that's how you do it. So when the airline screws you around, whether it's bumping you voluntarily, involuntarily, losing your stuff, stealing your stuff, baggage, delays, loss, damage, whatever, Don't take it sitting down. You have rights. Do something about it. Channel your opinion and attitude for justice through the Passenger Bill of Rights on the Department of Transportation's website to see what, if anything, you can rely on that would help your cause, as in, like I said a minute ago, with bumping, a 400% upside on your one-way ticket. Cite that, and that gets the airline's attention because they know you know what's going on. They know you know the law, and they don't screw with you, in my experience. So that's what I do when the airlines rubs me wrong, whether it's bumping, baggage, stealing, lost, whatever. You should do the same thing. You can never go wrong. I can't guarantee any results for sure, but I can tell you the only certainty isn't doing nothing. You do nothing, you get nothing. You push back and you get a phone call like I did yesterday that says they're going to give you $1,600 back for having had an employee steal your stuff.